Imagine standing at the very edge of existence, peering into the unknown, where space itself seems to vanish into nothingness. What lies beyond? Is there a wall, a cosmic boundary, or an infinite expanse waiting to be discovered? The universe, as we know it, is vast, stretching across billions of light years, filled with galaxies, stars, and dark mysteries. But does it ever truly end? Or does it keep expanding into something unimaginable? This question has puzzled scientists, philosophers, and dreamers for centuries, leading to some of the most mind-bending theories about what might exist beyond the observable universe. To understand this mystery, we first need to grasp what we mean by the edge of the universe. Unlike the Earth, which has a defined surface, space is not something we can just walk out of. The observable universe, about 93 billion light-years in diameter, is not the actual size of the cosmos. It's simply the region of space that light has had time to reach us from since the Big Bang 13.8 billion years ago. Anything beyond that is invisible, not because it doesn't exist, but because its light hasn't had time to reach us yet. But does that mean there's nothing out there? Not at all. In fact, many theories suggest the universe extends far beyond what we can see, perhaps infinitely. One possibility is that the universe is infinite and unbounded. If this is true, there's no edge in the traditional sense, just an endless cosmic expanse. This idea aligns with the concept of an eternal, self-replicating universe, where new regions continuously form beyond our observable limit. Some physicists propose that if we could somehow travel faster than light, we might discover an infinite number of galaxies, each similar to our own, stretching out forever. But then comes the real question. If the universe is infinite, does that mean there are infinite versions of us? Another possibility is that the universe is finite but unbounded, like the surface of a sphere. Imagine an ant crawling on a balloon. From the ant's perspective, the balloon appears to stretch forever, but in reality it's looping around a finite space. Similarly, our universe could be curved in such a way that traveling far enough in one direction would eventually bring you back to your starting point. This means there might be no true edge, just a cosmic loop where space bends back on itself. But how could we ever prove such an idea? Then there's the multiverse theory, perhaps one of the most mind-boggling concepts of them all. Some physicists suggest that our universe is just one of many, a bubble within a vast cosmic foam of countless other universes. If true, then what lies beyond the edge of our universe might not be an empty void, but instead an ocean of alternate realities, each with its own laws of physics, dimensions, and even versions of you. Some universes might be similar to ours, while others could be drastically different, with entirely different physical constants making life impossible. Could it be that our universe is just one tiny speck in a vast cosmic sea? Of course, not all theories require infinity. Some propose that the universe does have an edge, just not in the way we might think. One theory suggests that space itself is expanding into some higher dimensional reality, much like a balloon inflating within a larger space. If this is true, then the edge of the universe might not be an ending, but rather a boundary where our three-dimensional space merges into something entirely unknown, something we can't even comprehend yet. But if that's the case, then what's outside this boundary? Another reality, a higher dimensional space, or absolutely nothing? And here's where things get really strange, because the concept of nothingness is perhaps the most confusing idea of all. Can true nothingness even exist? If the universe has an edge, does it mean that beyond it, there is an absolute void, no space, no time, not even emptiness itself? Some scientists argue that nothingness is a paradox, that something must always exist, even beyond what we can observe. Others believe that our universe might be floating in a larger hyperspace, like a drop of water, in an endless ocean of something greater. So what does science say? And will we ever be able to find out what truly lies beyond our cosmic horizon? But before we dive deeper into what might exist beyond the observable universe, let's address an important question. How do we even know that the universe has an edge, or if it extends infinitely? The answer lies in something called cosmic inflation. Right after the Big Bang, the universe didn't just expand. It inflated at an unimaginable speed, faster than the speed of light itself. This means that some regions of the universe were stretched so far apart that they are now forever beyond our reach, their light permanently out of sight. This also explains why the universe looks roughly the same in all directions, because inflation smoothed out irregularities. But here's the catch. If inflation happened once, could it still be happening in other parts of the cosmos? This is where the eternal inflation hypothesis comes in. Some scientists believe that inflation never really stopped, at least not everywhere. Our universe might just be one pocket where inflation slowed down, allowing galaxies and stars to form, while other regions continue to expand at incredible speeds, so fast that they remain forever inaccessible to us. If this is true, then our observable universe is just a tiny fraction of a much larger, ever-growing cosmic structure. We are trapped in a local bubble of reality, unable to see what lies beyond. But let's suppose we could somehow escape our observable bubble. What would we find? One possibility is that we'd enter a region of space completely devoid of matter, a true cosmic void. Scientists have already discovered vast empty regions in the universe, called supervoids, where very few galaxies exist. The largest known void, the Boötes void, is so immense that if our galaxy were placed at its center, we wouldn't see any other galaxies for nearly 1 billion light-years. Now imagine stepping beyond the universe's edge. Could there be a void so absolute that even the laws of physics cease to exist? Another possibility is even more bizarre, a cosmic boundary, where physics itself changes. What if, as you move further away, the fundamental forces that govern reality, gravity, electromagnetism, even time itself, start behaving differently? Some physicists propose that different regions of the universe could have different physical constants. Imagine a place where atoms can't form, where light doesn't travel the same way, or where time flows backward. Could it be that beyond our universe, there exists an entirely different set of laws, one so alien that we could never comprehend it? And what about the shape of the universe? Scientists still debate whether space is flat, curved, or even wrapped around itself like a four-dimensional hypersphere. If the universe is curved, then traveling far enough in one direction might eventually bring you back to your starting point, like walking around the surface of a planet. But if the universe is truly infinite, then that raises an even more unsettling idea: the possibility of infinite parallel versions of reality. This brings us to one of the most mind-bending implications of infinity: the duplication of everything, including you. If space is truly infinite, then every possible configuration of matter must eventually repeat somewhere out there, simply due to probability. Right now, there could be an exact copy of you, living in a galaxy billions of light years away, making the exact same choices, word for word, as you are right now. But here's the eerie part. Just as every possibility must repeat, so must every variation. Somewhere out there, there could be a version of you who made a slightly different choice at some point in life, or a version who never existed at all. Are we merely echoes in an infinite cosmic pattern? And then there's the multiverse hypothesis, one of the most controversial yet fascinating ideas in modern physics. According to some interpretations of quantum mechanics, every time a decision is made, reality splits, creating a parallel universe for each possible outcome. If true, then what lies beyond our universe might not be a vast empty void, but an endless sea of alternate realities, each existing independently. Some might be nearly identical to ours, while others could be so strange that they defy all logic. Imagine a universe where gravity repels instead of attracts, or one where life never developed at all. Could the multiverse be the true outside of our reality? But there's another possibility that is even more unsettling. What if we are simply living in a simulation, and the edge of the universe is just the boundary of the program? Some scientists, including figures like Elon Musk and theoretical physicist Nick Bostrom, have suggested that our universe might be an incredibly advanced simulation, created by a higher intelligence. If this is true, then what lies beyond our universe might not be another realm of space, but an entirely different level of existence, one that we can never access or even comprehend. Could it be that the edge of the universe is simply the limit of the simulation's rendering? And, if so, what happens if we reach it? But before we explore the final and perhaps most unsettling possibilities, let's take a step back. Could it be that we are simply asking the wrong question? What if the universe has no edge, not because it's infinite, but because beyond is a meaningless concept? Perhaps our human minds, designed for survival on Earth, are simply incapable of grasping the true nature of reality. After all, ants don't understand quantum mechanics, so why should we assume that our own intelligence is sufficient to grasp the ultimate truth? Could it be that the answer to this mystery is forever beyond our reach? If there's one thing history has taught us, it's that the universe is always stranger than we imagine. Every time we think we've reached the limits of knowledge, a new discovery shatters our understanding. Once, people believed the Earth was the center of everything. Then we learned that we orbit the Sun. Then we discovered that our solar system is just a tiny part of a vast galaxy. And then, that our galaxy is just one among trillions in the observable universe. So when we ask, what lies beyond the edge of the universe, are we making the same mistake again, assuming that we are anywhere close to knowing the full truth? One of the boldest possibilities comes from the idea of higher dimensional space. We experience the universe in 3 spatial dimensions: length, width, and height. But what if there are more dimensions hidden from our perception? Some theories in physics, like string theory, suggest that there could be as many as 10 or even 11 dimensions. If this is true, then what lies beyond our universe might not be a new region of space, but rather an entirely different dimension, one that we cannot perceive, just as a 2-dimensional being would struggle to comprehend. Our 3-dimensional world. Could it be that our universe is just a membrane floating in a higher dimensional space, alongside countless other parallel universes? This concept is known as the brane theory, a branch of string theory that suggests our universe might be like a sheet of paper floating in a higher dimensional space called the bulk. If this is true, then other universes, other branes, could be floating alongside ours, separated by an invisible higher dimensional distance. And if these branes ever collide, it could trigger something catastrophic, a new Big Bang birthing an entirely new universe. But what if we go even further? What if we are not just part of a multiverse, but something even grander, an omniverse? Some scientists speculate that reality might be structured in layers, with universes emerging from other universes in an infinite cycle. Imagine our universe as just one ripple in an endless cosmic ocean, where new universes are constantly being created and destroyed. Could it be that reality itself is an infinite fractal, repeating forever in different forms? And then we come to perhaps the most unsettling question of all. Is there a limit to reality itself? Even if universes can spawn other universes, even if dimensions exist beyond our perception, even if there are infinite possibilities, does it ever stop? Or does existence itself stretch on forever with no ultimate boundary? If the concept of an edge is meaningless, then perhaps so is the concept of a beyond. Maybe the true nature of reality is something so profound, so alien to human thought, that we will never fully understand it. But what if we could? What if one day, through advanced technology or new physics, we found a way to look beyond the limits of our universe? What if we could send a probe beyond the cosmic horizon, beyond the boundaries of space-time itself? What would we see? Would we find a new realm of existence, another universe? Or would we simply find ourselves looking back, trapped in an eternal loop, where the beyond is always just out of reach? What if there is no outside because the universe is everything that can possibly exist? Maybe the real question is not what lies beyond the edge of the universe, but rather, does the question itself make sense? And so we are left with a mystery that may never be solved, but that doesn't mean we should stop searching. After all, every great discovery in history once seemed impossible. Perhaps one day we will find an answer, or perhaps the answer will find us. What do you think? Is there something beyond the universe, or is our reality the ultimate boundary? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the unknown, Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more mind-expanding explorations. Until next time, keep looking up.